All right, we're going to welcome you to the Principals Podcast. This is Season 3, Episode 2. And joining us today, we have Mr. Hyam. Say hello, Mr. Hyam.
What up, everyone?
We have Mrs. Bondi.
Hi, guys.
And we have the Athletic Director of All Nations, Top of the Nation, Doug Snyder. Joining us in this podcast are the 21-22 captains of the Crazies, and I'm going to throw it over to Doug Snyder, who's going to do a little introduction, maybe a little historical background that leads into today.
Good afternoon, everyone. Great to see you here on the Principals Podcast. So, captains of the Crazies, congratulations to Kyle, Brooke, and Sierra, first of all. Great to have you aboard. You've joined a long list of great captains of the Crazies. For those who are watching or viewing today that may be unfamiliar with the history of it, I'll give you a quick rundown. In 2011, a young man named Scott Taylor approached us and asked if he could organize the Chardon student sections and give it a name and just kind of make it an official entity. And he was and is a huge Duke basketball fan. So if you're familiar with Duke basketball, they play in Cameron Indoor Arena, and the Duke student section call themselves the Cameron Crazies. So Scott asked if he could set up something similar here with the name the Chardon Crazies. So of course we said yes. And he got it off the ground and got it going, and the rest is history. You know, we've had a long, great run of fantastic student sections. This is the 11th year the Chardon Crazies have been organized, and we like to think we're one of the first in the area. A lot of the schools in Ohio now have organized student sections, but we can go back to 2011 with ours, and we're very proud of the history of the Chardon Crazies. So welcome to the crew of Chardon Crazies. So my first question to you as new captains is what are your first memories of the Chardon Crazies? Like what's the first thing that kind of sticks out in your mind, and then you thought, yeah, you know what, I want to be part of that someday?
I'd say the drum, like when the band they come and do like the drum thing. I don't know why that's like my favorite thing. I don't know what that's called, but
I think the official musical term is that drum thing.
yeah.
That's what I call it too. I mean,
When we like all get around them.
Yeah, that works. If Mrs. Lickler's watching, I'm going to get an email with the correct name. But until then, the drum thing works.
Mine would probably be, I think it was sophomore year. It was like at a beach out or something, and there was a pineapple getting thrown around. And I just instinctively took a bite out of the outside because they were being passed around. Like, I had to bite it. So I just bit the hard piece and everyone just cheered. So I was like, yay! Just really pumped me up.
That's why Mr. Bandera needed a hip replacement, just to let you know.
What, the pineapple hit him in the hip?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the same thing happened, but it was with a potato one time. It was with a potato. Someone right next to me got the potato and took a bite out of a not cooked potato. It's just hard potato, and then they threw it around and it just kept going. And I thought, it's pretty cool. So that was probably one. Yeah.
So for the record, anyone who will be in the crazy section this year, we are not advocating the throwing of any fruits and vegetables.
Boring.
Instead, please make a donation to the canned food drive or your favorite food bank. Let's not be chucking fruits and vegetables around the session. So we have a year off, right, from the Crazies because that was due to COVID and attendance restrictions. We were unable to just open it up to the whole student section or the student body last year. So really, we haven't had the Crazies gathered since the end of the 1920 school year, which seems like 50 years ago to me. But so Friday night, tomorrow night, up at Riverside, will be the first gathering of the Chardon Crazies in over a year. So, drum roll, please. What should we expect?
Same thing as 2 years ago. I mean, I think we're just going to pick up right where I left off, maybe even more people. I think we'll continue on the same traditions we always have, and I think it'll be more people, if not the exact same number. So I think it's going to be the same thing basically, but probably better. So
yeah, I would agree. I'm hoping for a lot more people to show up because a lot of people couldn't go last year, and they're going to be excited to see like what the team's going to be like, especially winning states. So it's super exciting just to see how many people are going to be there.
So let's start with the theme then, so everyone knows what they can wear. What are we supposed to wear tomorrow?
State champ gear. Woo! Yeah.
state champion just for like Chardon clothing, and everyone obviously.
Yeah, and I know the Chardon boosters tweeted out that they're going to be selling it too. So if you want to buy it, you can.
I've seen a lot of state champ gear in the last 6 months, so I know that the boosters and some various places around town have sold a ton of that. So there should be no shortage of state champ gear that we can wear up there tomorrow. So before I throw it back to the principals, I will just a couple of reminders. Number one, the game will be at Riverside High School, 7:00 kickoff. Gates open at 6. All ticketing will be done online. Go to chardonathletics.org, chardonathletics.org. There's a Topper Tickets tab at the top of the website. Student tickets are $4. You can get that online, and they will email you a passcode, and that will get you in the gate. So gates open at 6. Online tickets, chardonathletics.org, 7:00 kickoff. The CHS band will be there. The cheerleaders will be there. It's the first game as defending state champs. Should be a great night. Awesome opponent in Glenville. 3 awesome new captains of the Crazies. So we should be ready to rock and roll.
Hey, Snyder, are we being featured by any local television stations or radio stations out there? And should our fans get there early, knowing that it might be a full house?
Well, Riverside Stadium is huge, so there'll be plenty of seating. Please don't arrive before 6, but yeah, get there before. I would say 6:30 would be a good time. We are the Cleveland.com game of the week. We've been nominated for the Cleveland Browns game of the week and the Friday Night Lights Fox 8 game of the week. So those results, I think, will all come out later tonight. But there'll be a lot of media there, and we want to make sure that we have a great Hilltopper showing. So it's a short ride. Head on up to Riverside, and we'll see you there.
So from my side, and then we'll transition because we want Mrs. Bondi to play in today's podcast. This is her first official real podcast with students. But as we transition to tomorrow, we certainly are encouraging all students to just wear your Topper gear into school. Let's talk school for a moment. It's been several months that you've been in school. And although we ended the year in full, 100%, now we're redeployed school in 100%. How has been that transition for the 3 of you coming into a brand new year in each of your courses?
Well, for me, I mean, I think this is the most excited I've ever been to start a school year. I mean, not only are we seniors, I feel like just since COVID's not gone, but it's minimized, no masks, no huge restrictions. I think it's just going to be like one of the greatest years it's ever been. And I'm really looking forward to it. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I just like seeing people's faces. Like, it's nice to see everyone like happy. And like, COVID like taught me to not take anything for granted. Like, I feel super bad for the previous 2 years of seniors that didn't get a normal year. So I'm really excited. I want to make this like the best year possible, get involved in as much as I can and not take it for granted. Yeah, like definitely like last year was super hard, like mentally not having a year at all, and I felt really bad for the seniors. So I feel like for the grade above, we should really like do to the fullest potential it has. Since we can go to the football game, since we have crazy captains, and just not take it really.
We really got to do our part, because COVID is not gone. And although we aren't required to wear masks. There are several students and staff that are, and most of us that were here last year, a lot of the positive cases didn't happen in the building. They happened outside of the building. So not saying that it's going to happen outdoors at a football game. It's going after the football game. Be smart, be conscientious, because not only do we want a season, we want to stay in school, and we want to continue what we're starting this year. So I am really looking forward to tomorrow. I'm looking forward to finishing out the good academic week. Who has worse traffic at the campuses? Chardon High School in the afternoon or Riverside High School post the football game? Because it's a push there, right?
Yeah.
Both have one access point. So make sure that you drive carefully on your way to the games tomorrow. And let's pass it over to Bondi. What do you got for him?
Well, so I'm a little apprehensive hearing about all the food throwing and whether or not I should let my kids attend the game tomorrow. I don't want to start that trend in my home or anything. But I'm super excited. It's kind of odd that we're, starting out at Riverside. Those are some of the games I was going to last year in the last couple of years, I guess I should say, at these times. So, and I've experienced both traffic, and it is a tough call. So I want to say, though, it's been awesome trying to get to know some of the students here and maybe getting to know you guys even better throughout the year. Is there anything, like one specific thing, I should know about the senior class? I know you guys have endured COVID. Anything else? That's a lot. I know. That's a loaded question. It's wide open.
There's several
What
people,
makes you guys unique?
There's two of our crazies that have known each other for more than 3.5 years.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know if this is a bad thing or a good thing, but I feel like with our grade, like people have stuck with each other since like middle school, like friends that people have made in middle school, like they're still friends now, and like they'll still hang out with other people and stuff. But I think it's like really cool that like, yeah, people like grow and change, but they're still like friends with like friends that they made forever ago. And I think that really shows like how great a community Chardon is and how like you can meet new people and stuff. Yeah, I would say our grade is definitely interesting. There's a lot of characters in our grade that'll stand out at the games for sure. But I think our grade is like very loyal to each other. We stick together. We're mature, but very unique, to say the least.
Yeah. And from what I've seen, our grade has always been the most outgoing at the football games. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but all the other grades were so quiet. Like we could tell, like the freshmen like behind us and the sophomores behind us were always so quiet. But I feel like our grade was always so loud and always tried to get everybody else going. But so that's what I think our grade is really outgoing and great.
Yeah, I remember one like year, the last time we had football games. Annabelle actually moved like our grade in front of the juniors because we were being so loud, and they were like, we want the crazy people like in the front.
You don't mess with Annabelle.
Yeah.
All 411 of her. We're going to transition to Chaim because he might have a few questions, but he's unveiling a new game that's on our podcast this year.
New game called Chicken or Steak. So I'm going to give you an or question. I'll go around to each of you, and you'll have a choice between chicken or steak. So I'll start with Kyle. Kyle, do you put your milk in before the cereal, or do you put the cereal in, then the milk?
Cereal in first. You can't do it any other way.
Got to go the cereal first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Brooke, big question. Are you going to take the $10,000, or do you want your friend to win $100,000?
My friend to win 100 because she would give me at least half if she's a good friend.
There you go. There you go. All right, Sierra. You can't eat 3 meals a day sometimes. So which one are you going to give up, lunch or dinner?
I'm going to give up lunch because I eat a big breakfast.
Oh, great answer. Got to have that breakfast, right?
Yeah.
All right, Kyle, where do you want to spend the rest of your life? At Cedar Point or at the Columbus Zoo?
Oh, Cedar Point.
Cedar Point.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a ride that you want to be on every day?
Millennium Force.
Have you been on Steel Vengeance?
Yes.
That ride's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's good.
Unbelievable. All right, Brooke, we've been dealing with this a lot this summer. Do you want rain or do you want snow?
Snow, for sure.
You want the snow?
Yeah.
Because then we have a calamity day and we don't have school then, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, true. The rain.
All right, Sierra, last one before we shoot it back to Murray. Do you like playing sports or do you like watching sports?
I like watching sports.
There you go. A little chicken or steak for you out there, Hilltoppers.
So we're getting to the point of the podcast. We appreciate all of you listening today. All three of the Doug's moms are watching, so we appreciate that. Where we give shout outs. So we've put a lot of work into planning for this year. The things that we can control have been on point. And so we want to have you give the opportunity to give a shout out to anyone you like, family, friend, teacher. And we are going to begin ladies first. So Sierra.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to give a shout out to obviously you guys. I'm not going to pick one person. There's no way. You guys, and specifically my counselor, because I know he deals with so much with scheduling. Like, I've been down there multiple times, and he's still putting in effort to, like, help with college applications and stuff. Like, I don't know how he even does it. I have Mr. Hurlbutt, or what I think. Yeah. So I want to give a shout out to him.
Awesome.
My shout out's gonna go to my mom because I can already tell for this crazy season she's gonna be doing a lot of helping, and for the first game she's already helped me make some pretty big props that'll be at the game. So shout out to her for making some pretty cool props.
I like to shout out my sister because she was like one of the main reasons why I wanted to be a crazy captain and help me come up with like a lot of the ideas that I've been thinking of. So I think she was one of my biggest supporters to be a crazy captain. So.
Mrs. Bondi.
Shout out to all of the students who have really tried to make it work these first couple days. The seniors, you guys are stepping up being leaders. We really appreciate it.
Mr. Snyder.
Well, since we're on the Captains of the Crazies theme, I would like to give a shout out to all of the previous Captains of the Crazies, starting in 2011 and all the way through this year. We've had a lot of great kids, males and females. This is crazy to me, but the George Washington of the Chardon Captains of the Crazies is now 29 years old. So think about that. The Crazies have been around for a while. We've had tons of great captains, so a shout out to all of them.
That's great. Mr. Hyam.
I'm going to follow Sierra and just not pick one. I'm going to shout out to the cafeteria staff, specifically Claudette, for all the work that they've done this week and helping us earlier in the week, specifically on Monday, and also to Mark Avery. Every time I've called him that we need something in a classroom, he's been there as quickly as possible. So I truly appreciate everything they're doing for us.
This is my 21st or second year in education, and today we had a presentation for 30 minutes with a bunch of 12 and 13-year-olds, and they were absolutely so respectful and responsive. So my shout out goes to the 8th grade, who were not squirrely, unlike previous grades, and they were extremely observant to each other and the message. So shout out to the class of 26. Shout out to all of you for joining the second podcast of the year. The first podcast was the Welcome Mrs. Bondi, and we are going to be transitioning to the Friday night highlights tomorrow as we start to record those, and hopefully we can put those on the new scoreboard. The field turf is moving right along. They're cutting in the numbers. We're hoping that by the end of next week into the weekend, it should be looking like a polished place where we can get back on the field. Kyle, Brooke, and Sierra, thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow, both in school and at the game, for the rest of our community. Have a great night. Go Toppers.
Go Toppers.
Go Toppers.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. Yep.